Before you develop any type of attitude, whether you are going to go towards being negative or whether you're going to go towards being positive, before you do that, you need to have all of the correct data, information, causes, everything before you react. Look in the mirror. That just shows what a low grade degenerate tramp you are, my friend. You've come in here, you're projecting toxicity, you're shouting your mouth off, you're pointing your finger left, right and centre, trying to blame people. I've gone on your wall and you're a loser. You don't represent anything, you don't stand for any kind of truth. No one listens to you. You're an idiot. I'm having to come back now at you because you're so thick and stupid that you don't understand that you are coming and attacking me. You are coming to me, my friend. And because you're a coward and you're a weakling and you're obviously stupid, you don't know how to communicate properly, you don't seem to be able to take responsibility for your own attitude and how you carry and how you put yourself out there to people, you don't realise that you're coming across in a toxic fashion, you idiot. So what you need to do is go into the mirror and have a look at your dumb face and the dumb way that you operate, before you go looking at other people who are having to respond to your retarded behaviour, you idiot. Yeah, so then anyway, so Chavez calls a meeting on Saturday evening out of the blue at the last minute. He does that because that's just Chavez, right? That's just how he operates. Now, the meeting that he calls, he's in the same house where he lives that probably maybe 50 people, 60 people have been to more than once. Just him on his own and his tech team. Right. So the picture that I've shown you there is him getting all the audit reports and everything in, and he confirms to us that what you're doing here with the Boomerang, with the license and everything else, it's all been it's all legal, it's all certified and licensed and legal, right? So it's a fully fledged legal operation. So now we need to say, Chavez, right? So you need to get that out so everybody can see it. So that's the next thing that I'm going to put in there. Say to him, and he's going to end up doing that anyway. So his way of thinking is, which is actually the right way of thinking when it comes to if it was a scam, right? So, but at the same time, it needs to be right. Okay, so his way of thinking is that everything is in order. They've got everything there. They have all the liquidity there. The Boomerang is set to it's scalable, so it can hold 500. It can hold maybe 2 millions of people, right? It's all set and it's all ready to go and it's done and dusted, right? Now, if it was a scam, this is what I mean about the average layman. It's just a shame. Now, I'm not saying that these business people I've got anything above you as the average, or you're an average layman. But in many respects, you have to be humble and you have to humble yourself and say, yeah, you are not clued up in those kind of spaces. Even like those idiots that do videos on YouTube, they're not clued up. They don't know what it is to hold on to something that's releasing millions and working with a tech and all. They don't even know anything about how all that comes together, right? So what he's saying is that there's no, usually, right, if it was a scam, what happens is there would be a massive rush, right, to get that technology straight out the back door, whether it's working, hook, line, sink, whatever it is. Because you might think, oh, right, the people have put money in, but you don't realise, in our community, we didn't even put no money in. There might be other communities where people have a lot of new business has come in, right? But if it was a scam scenario, I can't believe I'm even saying this because we're not working in that space. But what happens is there would be a big push to get that technology out of the door because there's a lot more money to be made if you just put it out there, Yeah, because if as soon as you just put it out there, what happens is then loads more money starts coming in, a lot more money. And the people behind it, they're not bothered about how it works, if it's going to be scalable and all that sort of stuff. They're not bothered about none of that. The reason is because they just want to get your money, and that's it. And it fits people, you see, because what happens is everything's, yeah, it's working, right, it works. Look, that's what happens. People do videos all over YouTube, and they see that we go in because we see it working. We just see it working, and think, oh yeah, that's it, it's working, and everybody goes in, puts some money in, and then they rug pull it, right? So because that's not happening here, he's not been in such of a rush, but the rush needs to be there. The rush needs to be there because you've taken us through you've taken us from start to finish with it, right? And that's taken quite a while, right? So just give me a minute. Yeah, so anyway, so he's sitting on the call, right? And we're on this call, for a couple of hours, right? And what he's doing is he's taking us through the roadmap of Boomerang, right? So he's taking us through that, and how it's going to be, how scalable it's going to be, how it's going to work. So what happens is we have gone in on this one network, right? Because we've gone in on this one network, there's an issue there. Now that issue can either be with, now someone was saying to me, look, different perspective, that the network can handle the amount of transactions. Now he said there was going to be no gas fee, but it's just Chavez. What happens is people latch on and they go, oh no, because he's running it, you think, oh no, that means he's lying, he's a scam. It's just him. It's just that individual's that's why he even said something the other day. No, he said something like, he goes, so in a couple of hours it'll be on, right? And then 5 minutes afterwards he says, so by tomorrow it'll be on, right? So he's not doing that on purpose. That's just this guy. That's just him, right? So yeah, he's a young guy as well. So on Saturday evening he's going out with these Bollywood actors or whatever they are. So he was just letting us know that all of the audit reports and everything, that picture I've shown you is the audits. There's a lot of audit that's going in there, a lot of legal paperwork and all that stuff. So when people were saying, there's this document that's been dissolved, he's not saying any of that. No one he's saying everything is all, there's been through so many legalities, it's a joke in terms of the licenses, being able to do these licenses and stuff. Now nobody's really going to be selling any Boomerang licenses or anything at the minute, because we need to get the Boomerang up and running. So the issue was this: the community is just pressing the button. People all over the world, right? They are just pressing this button, right? Even though the gas fee is more than the profit. So what was told on Saturday is that the community needs to be educated to look at the gas fee first, right? To look at the gas fee first, and if the gas fee is more than the profit, then they need to cancel it. And that there is the main issue as to why the restrictions were put into place. The communication issue comes in because it'll say one thing, right, but then it might turn out to be slightly different, something else, and then people get paranoid and think that he's doing a scam, and he's not doing a scam. It's just him as a person. If you were to go out with him or whatever it is, he's going to say to you, meet me down there at such and such, and then he's going to turn and go, hang on a minute, just meet me somewhere else at such and such instead. That's it. A young 27-year-old guy who's a genius with technology, that's what you're working with, right? No scam. Just Chavez. Unfortunately, that's how he works, right? Not enough people are able to open their mouth and say things that are negative. Their minds are weak. That's just the way the part of the world that you're working with. I have to keep a low profile, a little bit, because I'm saying stuff, right? And then people try to attack me because one or two of them tried to attack. They didn't try to attack me, but tried to say to me, so I think it's not going to happen. When I was just explaining, I wasn't saying that. I was just saying that I hope, and they didn't like the fact that I was even saying I hope that he turns it on last week. That is the level that you are dealing with. And anyway, another thing is that yeah, there was something else I was gonna go into, but it's come out of my mind now, so I'll probably just re-record and go into that. Yeah, so that is where it's at the minute. Is that, yeah, the other thing is this: he was gonna tell us the secret to why Boomerang, how Boomerang is self-sustainable, and how Boomerang actually works for the long term, and why it can't falter in X, Y, and Z. But then the leaders said to him, don't tell us, because there's 50, nearly 60 of us on there, right? Another thing as well, someone said about I've got influence. I don't think you realise how big this is. Me and you are just the same, just that, right? And so anyway, he was saying that they told him, don't tell us. He stopped the recording to tell us. We said, don't tell us how Boomerang works, because if that information gets out, then it can be copied, and then then what will happen is it will create distrust. Chavez won't be able to trust the leaders now. So we told him, don't tell us that. But he was willing to tell us that. That's because he's young. This is what I'm trying to get you to see here. It's not like how you think it is, right? So he wants this thing to be massive. Now, I already told you guys this ages ago. I said to you that the thing with Chavez, with this Boomerang thing, is he wants it to be super scalable. And the other thing is as well, the Boomerang is just one thing to him in his mind. He's now the bridge is being opened back up now. The bridge is being opened back up now, right? Because there's more people that are now mining, because remember they needed more. I think they needed more miners from outside of the community. You remember that line, right? That's now in play, right? So things like Chavez will say things, it'll go out into the wider community who's not. That's what I was saying about leaders, right? The leaders, we will go and sit with Chavez, right? That's the first time we've been able to sit with Chavez in months, right? He's not picking up any calls or nothing, so we can't do anything or say anything or even know anything more than anybody else. Everybody's in the exact same boat, apart from he just distributes it out to the leaders, and then it goes out into the wider community. But other than that, everyone is in the same boat. Everybody's made the same decision to jump into this ecosystem and see what it can do. That's it. The great news is that Chavez is just on board with the intention is just exactly as I have told you, as we see it is. That is the intention. It just takes a while. This other thing that he's bringing out this week, that is all ready to go. That doesn't require testing and all that sort of stuff. That can just go, right? So what's going to happen with that then? I'm assuming that probably, maybe, let's say he's going to come up with something. It's a trading opportunity. So we'll see how that one comes in. So now we have to put pressure onto Chavez now to get him as well, because he's not kind of bothered about the fact of how it looks, which for me really, I'd be more bothered about the fact of how he's not bothered about how it looks, because he knows he's doing it. He knows he's genuine, so he's not bothered about that. Right, but personally, he needs to kind of be bothered about that a little bit more, just to save this negative stigma. Like you got your guy on Sunday, you're kicking off in the group, you're thinking something, and that's not even happening. But because he turns it on and he lets everybody have one trade, and then he turns it off, and then you think, no, he's already told us it's not going to be 30 cents and all that. It's going to come out at all different amounts once it starts actually moving properly. He's already expecting the first maybe week, 2 weeks to be slow anyway, yeah, because they're analysing it, and they was allowing us to do the first couple of trades and all that sort of stuff. He's then putting on this other one, this Arbitrum, in the next 10 days, yeah. So we have to put pressure onto Chavez to get him to maybe do that a little bit quicker, but he's not. What he's doing is he's creating a synergy between all of the things, and he's putting them all together so they all complement each other, and then he gives it to you on the table, right? Which is what's happening now, because he's going to bring that other thing, and then on Friday, it's going to go into the BTCC, start some BTC calls. See, the guy who's running it is hands-on now, right? He was already doing it anyway. He's now going to be working with the community, coming on all the calls, going into different communities, probably come into this one as well. Going to come in, sit down, talk to everyone, blah, 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 blah. He's going to do it like that. When he just sits and explains it to you, you'll just be normal. That's the issue. But because that doesn't happen, you can think, oh, why is he doing that? And because there's so much messing about. But the reason that is because his particular signature of technology is very complex. If you notice, it's very complex. Look, it's all Web3 type. It's complex too. You ain't even never seen it before. It's complex stuff. And that is frustrating, but that is the way that it is. But it's coming. And it's genuine as well. So it's good. The thing is, like, so Chavez has only got, he's got millions or whatever. And he already had that already. But his main asset is us, the community, and the leaders. That's it. Yeah, where his main point of call. That's why his successes now are built on this community. So his technology is not going to go anywhere without this community. So it's a perfect relationship, marriage. So that is the real situation of what's actually happening here. There was something else I was going to say to do with it as well. I'll probably just come back in with that. And that's it. So you got this meme coin trading coming now. Oh yeah, the other thing I was going to say is so he was saying what's happened is in the past we've been in a couple of you might have been aiming at me as well, because I wasn't I just took a few of the people down, but I didn't go in a little too hard on them because they wouldn't be able to handle it. So because I will just speak as well, right? If it's not right. Yeah, and he was saying that because we've been involved in a couple of Ponzi schemes. Well, you know, in actual fact, the way we look at it, it's crazy compared to what it is. It's like it's money, right? I don't even think, to be honest, the people themselves, they're not actually going in like that. What it is, like he was saying, is they've got a product there. They had a product there. And it wasn't able to meet the requirements for it to be able to stay there, to be sustainable. Just normal factors, not, they're trying to scam you. just normal factors. And it's not like, we laugh. I shouldn't really, look, when I laugh, because I'm laughing at the side of it, that's, it's just, it's this world, right? It could be, a lot of it boils down to, like, someone brings something out. They don't fully know what they're doing, right? They're in scarcity mode. They're in survival mode themselves. They're trying to make money. They think there's an opportunity there. Opportunity arises for them to set themselves free from slavery as well. You got that is in there as well. And then they got something. It's just when this started, it's just spinning out of control. They can't control it, and they lose their head, and that's what happens, right? That's what happens. We've got one platform where the guys got involved in some investment. No, they got involved in some investments, and the people that they got involved in the investments with decided that was Validus. Decided not to pay them. So now, because they decided not to pay them, that left them desperately. It ruined their business. So now they've had to pay out loads of money to go through the courts because to retrieve it, it's big investment companies, regulated ones. So then they have to go that way to retrieve it. It's a business. These are businesses, right? So people that were in that one, in the Validus, they are waiting now for the money to be retrieved, and it'll be paid out. The owner said, yeah, the court case is going really well. They're not allowed to divulge all the details within the court case because it ruins the case. But somebody put the legal documents out there, which is good, so you can see that was really happening. And it's just a byproduct of what happens in this, how things work with, not just with technology, but with opportunities outside of that governmental sphere, outside of that kind of work sphere, right? The people are doing things, they're making moves, right? Like with this now, Chavez, like somebody says, well, if you would have known about the gas fees before that, right? Yeah, but at the same time, There's loads of other factors in place. Could he, if he would have tried to put the 4 chains on earlier on, would that then mean now? It's just what I mean. There's all these different factors that come into play. So they do it in a particular way because that's the way that it has to work for it to work. So in terms of this, the Arbitrum, which I was already talking about, that comes on in the next 10 days, and then after that, the Bitcoin network's coming on there, Ethereum's coming on there. So they're going to be, like say, there's going to be 4 of them on there, and it's going to take 2 months to get the 4 of them on there. But that doesn't mean we're not going to be trading in between that, because we are going to be trading. What's going to happen is it's going to be done gradually. You'll start with this as it is now. Then in the next couple of days, you'll be able to do more, and then more, and then more, and then gradually, which you would have heard by now, gradually build it up. But yeah, it's brewing up into something that's very, very unique, very, very fruitful for everybody involved. So we just have to just let this play out now. Let him come on Wednesday, bring this other thing out, and then obviously we continue to put pressure to make it so that we can just trade on it in just a normal fashion. But we trade anyway, because trading, in actual fact, is there is no other modality in this world where you don't need to rely upon anybody to make abundance, to make real money that you can make moves from. And that's what he's trying to do with the Boomerang. He's not trying to do it, he is doing it. It's just that, like I say, there's so many, it's just complex technology. So because it's complex technology, there's these bits and pieces in the way. That you got to have these other chains on there, all this sort of stuff. So just play it by ear. I think we're going to hear a lot more today and tomorrow, and it's going to be unfolded. It's going to be given out. It's going to be given out properly as well. I tried to give you the actual feel for what actually happens in a leader's call with Chavez. So he's just sat there in his house, always the same house. Everyone's been in his house, just normal. He's celebrating. That's what I mean. And it shouldn't really be like that. But the reason that he's celebrating is because it hasn't been made fully clear to us what is going on here like that, right? It's that since that's why I have to do these recordings, etc., to try to get people to get clear clarity on actually what this is. So he's super excited because he's created something that can hold a ridiculous, look, well, you can see the figures on the screen, look, the type of level of transactions and everything else. So he's really excited because he's saying, look, we've created this thing and it's blown up Polygon, and Polygon can't even handle it. But we can get skepticism about, and we could go, hang on a minute, how can a network, which is what I would say, it's what my thought on it as well is, yes, but and someone else, one of the other leaders, these people don't ever usually give any other perspective other than just the one to back up what they're doing out of pure excitement, fear, being scared, not wanting to be the black sheep of the family and all that sort of stuff. Just slave mentality. So anyway, yeah. So someone was saying, but it's not Polygon, because Polygon should be able to handle ridiculous amount of transactions. It's more the Boomerang that couldn't handle it. That's what someone was saying, right? But that can't be the case, because then it's obviously, or whichever way, even if that was, you has to have these other networks there, because it's all well and good when we say, oh, how's it going to roll? You never really know how something really, really works until you put it out there properly, right? I could put a trade on at a high amount, right? But it's not really going to hit home to me the extent of what I've just done until I press that button, and then the trade starts moving. And then when it starts moving and it's moved a little bit, and I'm only $200, and it's only started just moving, now I need to stop it. Yeah, now I need to try and reevaluate on how this is really going down. That's the same scenario. So when they press the button, yeah, they know how many people, what, etc. But when they press that button, then they can see it. So he's really excited and really happy about what he's created, something that can sustain itself and just be there and can hold millions of people. So you can see there, that is the roadmap. So it's not a case of no one's going to be trading for 2 months. It's a case of the community just needs to know how to trade, and not just press the button just for the sake of just pressing the button. And then it's going to slowly, gradually release the Arbitrum, so it's just going to keep getting more and more and more and more and more. That's what's happening. What he needs to do is create some liquidity. I've said that in there. That's what needs to happen. And we've got this meme coin trading thing coming right now. Meme coin trading pays out some serious money. Even the miners. If you've got BTC there now at $61, right, and that starts moving now, and people start, more people are mining, etc. Yeah, more people are buying miners and so on and so forth. He opens that up, and he opens the trading up, and he opens the Boomerang up. Then that's it, isn't it? Then we don't need to start barking anymore. So we just got to just let it play out a little bit longer now. We're right at the doorstep now anyway, and then we just go from there. But it's looking really exciting, and I don't think you can see anything like this happening anywhere else as it comes together. When it comes together like it is, you're not really going to see it happening anywhere else. That BTCC is the same as BTC, right? It's the same thing, right? When BTC was running, let's just say I press rewind right now, right? You would hear the most craziest things being said about people was mining BTC back then, right? And when they had issues on the network and all that sort of stuff, people saying, why are you bothering wasting your time doing that? It's a scam. It's stupid, man. Why sat down there wasting your time worrying about what the people inside of some ecosystem or some nodes that looks like they're just running it anyway and they're deciding what happens to everyone. It's just a scam. There's no point in bothering with it. It's the same thing. You think it's not, but it's the same thing. The whole of this technology is the same thing. In a couple of years, you'll see things in the normal world, and the government will be doing it, and you'll be going, I was already doing that. It's the same thing. Look in the mirror, you cunt. That just shows what a low-grade, degenerate tramp you are, my friend. You've come in here, you're projecting toxicity, you're shouting your mouth off, you're pointing your finger left, right and centre, trying to blame people. I've gone on your wall and you're a loser. You don't represent anything. You don't stand for any kind of truth. No one listens to you. You're an idiot. I'm having to come back now at you because you're so thick and stupid that you don't understand that you are coming and attacking me. You are coming to me, my friend. And because you're a coward and you're a weakling and you're obviously stupid, you don't know how to communicate properly, you don't seem to be able to take responsibility for your own attitude and how you carry and how you put yourself out there to people, you don't realise that you're coming across in a toxic fashion, you idiot. So what you need to do is go into the mirror and have a look at your dumb face and the dumb way that you operate, before you go looking at other people who are having to respond to your retarded behaviour. You idiot. This is what I mean about people. Look, this is the classic example. This guy's standing here and he's still standing here and he's saying, I'm making him out to be a villain. You've just come and tried to attack me, my friend, for no reason at all, and you think that I'm supposed to stand here and let you do that. No, mate, I'm a real human being. I'm not a character. I'm not a coward, and it's just not going to happen, right? And I'm not dead either, right? So because of that, I operate by the laws of nature. If you attack me in any way, then now I'm within that. Now the force is with me to attack you full force, and that is why we are enslaved out here, because we don't know how to operate like a real human being. Now, if you're weak, you can take that as this guy thinks he's better than people, and that's a projection coming from within that individual, and that is why we are enslaved. Because real human beings, they don't stand. They know their worth, and they don't stand for bullshit. You don't stand for it. You don't stand for being abused. You don't stand for it. That guy can't control himself. So because he can't control himself, he's now had to be ejected from the group. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Why would you want to do it? Why do it? Yeah, that's the reason why we just let everybody just say whatever it is they're going to say in the group. In other spaces, they would have just already removed you already. They would have removed him before that, or they would have gone and spoke to him or something, asked him to pipe down what he's saying in the group. But you know, as people grow, as we grow, we realise that that's where we have come from. I mean, I've been saying these things and teaching these things openly and publicly for years, not because I think I'm better than anybody, but because it's a work that has to get done. Once you die over and over again, there's you almost, there's a responsibility on your hands for others, to remove suffering for other people and to help them to be able to see their own darkness as well and their own light. And that's what we do. So when people are saying things like that, or when people are blaming others or whatever it may be, people have done all of those things. You'll be surprised things that people have said to me, and they're in the group or whatever it may be. I let them, they're in the group, and you just let it slide, because you're able to look from the perspective of others. Once you are working upon yourself, that enables you to be able to do that. But there has to be a barrier. There has to be a point of no return. If that doesn't take place, evil takes over us. And that's what has happened to us, objectively, collectively. And when people don't work on themselves, they think, because I've got a lot to say, they think that they perceive, like that guy's probably, he's showing it to him and his partner, and they're thinking that I think that I'm better than them because I'm explaining things a lot. Which is just sad, but it happens. That I'm used to that, because that always happens. Then they always project it back onto you. So I mean, that guy's blatantly shown us that he's holding on to some crazy anger for decisions that he has made. Then on top of that, he wants the was and everything else to be something that it's not. We can't stand here and for it to be a scam when it's not. It's a year now, and it's only just starting. And it's a year, and it's just starting. So I always feel like these people, we have to just let them do that, because they're not supposed. Everything happens. It's supposed to happen in that way. They're not supposed to be here. They're not supposed to be doing what we're doing. I don't know why they end up doing it if they're not strong enough to be able to deal with it. It just makes no sense at all. But being obviously running the group or whatever it may be, it means that, you know, when they do that, they're gonna vent it towards myself, rather than being able to see things for what they really are, because might not be intelligent enough to do that. But yeah, so we've all been at these lower levels of consciousness, which is what Neville Goddard is saying in that moment there. But at the same time, we have to individuate ourselves from where we're at to where another individual might be at, and allow them to project what they're doing, but at the same time know that barrier does have to be there in order for them to be able to learn from what it is that they're doing. So like, if I was to just leave the guy in the group now, it wouldn't be right for me to leave him in the group. The laws of nature dictate if I was to leave him in the group, then now what would happen is that would be cowardice on my part, and I'd be allowing people to disrespect myself, disrespect the group, and all sorts, when really their intent is malicious. So I've got to remove them from the group. Anybody can record in the group. I record in the group because that's just what I do. Other people, if they wanted to speak in the group, I've said this before, then they could record into the group and do that as well. But I tell you, evil is a very, very cunning, conniving thing, where it will try to, it will bend over backwards to try and pretend or to make out that somebody's doing something that they're not even doing. Listen, people that are in this group, they know me anyway, but years before we was even doing all of this, and the intent has always been the same. I've done a lot of work that I do in other areas without, totally free of charge or whatever it may be. This is where we're at with this technology. I mean, the last things that I said were quite positive. I've put in there Chavez from his weekend meeting, showing the roadmap. giving the reassurance that we need to see, a bit of clarity that we need to see, so you can see that, look, this is not actually, it's not going down that road. And that individual's just done exactly what I said, which is he wants it to be a scam from within himself. He wants it to be that way because of how he's perceiving the whole reality from that point of negative view where he's, from that point, the stance where he's at. To him, it must fulfill his own internal thought pattern and his own emotional state. It must fulfill that. If it doesn't fulfill that, he feels that he's wrong against me, so therefore he has to attack me, because surely I must be wrong. It cannot be the way that I'm saying it is. It has to be in the way that he said it is, because he's already put himself out there for it to be that way. And unfortunately for him, it's not that way. I really don't want to have to kick him out of the group. I want everybody to be able to be there. But listen, you know, I don't even know this guy. I've never spoke to him ever. I didn't even bring him into this, nothing. So I'm not going to let him talk to me like that, because it's just not right. So it has to be removed, because we have to have that barrier there. In any real spiritual circles, spiritual circles, there is a courage and a strength and a fire to put out evil. Yeah. And even, it's called agape, in actual fact. It's called agape, universal love. And included in that is a sacred anger that will diminish and put out evil every time it's seen, every time it raises its head. Example, actually, when I think about it now, another example of it's new age concepts, new age ideologies, and concepts of even how we think that we're supposed to act in a righteous manner, even in somebody that's an atheist or whatever it may be, or whatever you want to call it, religious or whatever it may be, where there was an auditor. It was they were insinuating in the shop that he was a thief, right? So, and it wasn't even an actual real police officer. Is it a PCSO or something they're like a prison officer, aren't they? That just walk around the street. They're like a weakened version of a real police officer. And they were saying to him that he had to have a basket, otherwise he couldn't go into the store. Now, because he knows the law, he challenged them, and then after that, that PCSO called up 2 real police officers, who then came down, you know, got out of the car and all the rest of it, right? But because the guy, the auditor, is aware of the law of the land, right? He knows that when he's coming from that perspective, even without the spiritual natural laws, right? He knows that he's in the position where now he has the right to now defend himself, right? But another guy in the street came up and said to him, look, you know, the bigger man walks away, right? And he was like, no, he's not going to walk away. He's going to challenge these police officers now. He's going to challenge them, and he's going to put them back in their place and re-educate them on what their actual role is and what they should be doing. And he's right. And he was able to do that. And the guy was shocked that he was able to do it. And the reason that is because we have been, in so many different ways, manipulated into thinking that what we should be doing is wrong and we should be doing something. So you're always taught that you're the bigger one by backing down and allowing evil to take place, or for you to be attacked in some way, and you are a bigger person for allowing it to happen. And in actual fact, that is people don't realise how deep these ideologies and psyops actually really run. It means that it stops us from standing up against tyranny, communism, tyranny. That's what it's there for. And because it's been happening for thousands of years, and such a long time, it's woven itself within all lots of different spiritual ideologies and all sorts, where we even then tell ourselves that, we convince ourselves that the easy option is the better option, and we're somehow better by allowing people to commit wrongs against us or against others, when really we should be highlighting it, and we should be correcting it and putting it out. And we are, and we don't realise that we're within our right to do so, and even their actual laws state that. But because of this psychological insinuation that's been put on us, we think that it's better to actually stand down, and we're somehow more righteous by actually standing down. when really it's the other way around. Like the courage and the fire of you actually getting angry based upon your righteous decision for the right reason is actually a more of a virtuous act than it is for you to actually just walk away thinking, carrying the head down, thinking it's the easy option.